You know when you're carrying massive bags of M&S shopping and think, wow, wouldn't it be easier if I had an army of clones to carry this for me? And wouldn't it be even better if all these clones were basically indestructible, so we could walk out into the traffic, over to the town hall, demand to become mayor, and then eventually president of the entire world? Here at Spiff Corp, we've discovered the power of unkillable, super powerful clones. All you need is a plant, a potion, and a Windows key. Welcome to Eversiege. This is an interesting mix between a MOBA, roguelike, and tower defense game. Quite simply, you start each run with a base that you must defend and waves of friendly units that are produced to run along your singular lane up towards the enemy's final boss. At the end of each night, the final boss will unleash a massive wave of enemies who will be smashing their way through your defenses and getting stronger as each day passes. At the end of 7 days, if you don't beat the final boss, pretty much the entire world ends as an unceasing army of incredible beings marches towards you to destroy you. In total, there are 7 characters to choose from, but today we're playing as Vanadius here. He is your classic sword and shield hero. He's rather tanky and provides nice area of effect damage reduction bonuses to all of your friends. This ability here is going to allow us to exploit the game and destroy the developer's balance, so that's why we're choosing him today. On top of picking your character, you also need to select 2 essences for the game. They're pretty self-explanatory. Fire essence allows you to cast fireballs, frost for frostballs, thunder for chain lightning. In our case, we've gone for alchemy, which lets us brew powerful potions, and charisma, because as everyone knows, the straight riz of a character is enough to beat the game. And then we get to pick some starting skills. We're going for the last stand here, that reduces incoming damage to all friendly units by 50%. Call to arms that lets us summon in some soldiers, and Mystic Transmutation, which is one of the most broken abilities in the game that just allows you to consume your potions regardless of whether they're on cooldown. I love it. So let's launch ourselves into the game and get ready for this new adventure. So we start out the game and we get ourselves a free evolution. We're going to pick up Just Tasting, because it means at the start of every new day, 2 random plants regrow and can be gathered again. Then we're going over to this chest to grab ourselves a relic. We're going to grab the Night Shield crown here that says as soon as night begins, the Cyclone regains all of its fate armor. Fate armor basically mitigates one single attack entirely, so very useful to have it being replenished. Then we can wander on over to this life fountain to gain some health regeneration bonuses and the wisdom tree for some experience gains. There we go. Now the game is beginning and we can see our lovely soldiers marching up the track, following behind our gold miners. All of our units are going to march, fight, and work for us all across this map. We start out the game with 600 gold, and we can use this gold to build buildings. For example, building the archery hall for 200 gold will produce us 4 archers every wave. However, I need to spend my gold on something very important, the thing that is going to let us break this entire game, and that is the Alchemist Guild, because we can buy the Alchemist Guild for 200 gold and then pick up this bonus here, Alchemic Sower. Randomly spawn 2 legendary plants somewhere in the map. Legendary plants let your potions gain a legendary bonus, and this will let us truly break the entirety of the game. Oh, and we actually also have our first enemies here. These are annoying little spiders defending this chest of gold, so of course we are going to destroy them and collect the gold. Oh, we have ourselves a daily quest, of course. These are brilliant. For our first daily quest, we're going to say that yes, we are going to build a building in our capital, and in return we get a fate amplifier. So let's build ourselves the Tamer's Paddock, and we'll even buy ourselves a mount for our hero. Now, by completing that quest, I've been given this lovely little bonus here, a fate amplifier. These come in 4 flavors, and each of them impact our abilities. For example, my shield throw skill here does 100 base damage, and then 10 times whatever my lovely fate amplifier is. And in the case of our last stand ability, the radius of which it affects is boosted by our fate amplifier as well. So yes, all of these things are very important. Oh dip, there's an enemy spider. Leave that be, leave that be, leave that be. Oh, here's a shard. Fantastic. So this is our first shard. We could get some arcane amplifier bonuses. We could increase our attack speed. In our case, we're going to go for fragments of fortitude here for extra energy, as well as 2 more fate amplifier points. Oh, we have ourselves some spiders. Right, yeet out the shield. Hit him with a sword attack. Bam. and let's finish them off. Nice. With that, we get ourselves another shard, where we're going to boost our arcane amplifier and tactical amplifier as much as possible, and then we can level up. We're going to say that when we do our lovely slam ability here, it leaves behind frost on the ground that damages enemies over time, and this ability scales with the arcane amplifier. There you go, it's a synergy, ladies and gentlemen. We're playing the game. And then here's our lovely big plant. Look at you. Okay, we found ourselves a really nice ingredient, which gives us the bonus that we want to actually break the game. This is the Harmony Pilter, or Pilfer, I don't know how it's pronounced.
Filter.
It's generally a potion that gives you bonuses to things like speed and energy. However, its legendary ingredient has a chance of giving us something that will truly break the game. So we want to grab this potion and try and find the legendary ingredient that is somewhere on this map. And seeing as I have a bit more money lying around, we're going to be hiring another gold miner. Some would say it's dangerous to go off gold mining at the moment because I have not properly cleared out the map and there are these spiders running around, and they would be 100% right. So I'm going to put on my shield and I'm going to whack these spiders to the best of my ability. Come on, out. They are really slow and that is annoying. There we go, spiders defeated. The gold miners are safe to work another day. And now I am after something very important on this map. Of course, I want the legendary ingredient as soon as possible, but I also want this. Basically, this very kind tree ent wants us to recover some cool gems, and if we do that, he's promised that the ents will march off to war and fight for us. So yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Oh dear, this person is trying to attack me. Flee, flee, flee. Altar of Power. Yep, I'll get one extra rage amplifier. Did it make me lose most of my health? Yes, it did, but that's okay. Run, 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 run. Oh my goodness, we are getting attacked. Okay, we've got ourselves another gem, and one last gem before we complete the Ancient Guardian's mission. Oh, and there's these Fate Shrine. And we've got some more life fountains to boost my health regeneration. And where is that gem? There we go. So there we go. We've gained all of the gems necessary, and we can upgrade our potions, saying that, yep, they give us additional fate amplifier bonuses. But most importantly, we are now generating ents who will run out into the map and help us deal with this horde. Because, yeah, it's looking pretty bad, guys. I won't lie. This is quite a big enemy horde. Oh my goodness. I need to run back quickly and build a tower because, yeah, the enemy is coming and they will destroy us if we are not careful. Right, I rapidly need to gain some kind of bonus here. So we're going to fight this evil person here, mitigate as much of the damage as possible, and then boost up my speed even more as we run back to our tower. Quick, 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 quick. Oh, we really have to be quick. All right, fantastically, we are cleaving our way through all of these evil skeletons, and now by restoring both of these towers, the enemies are locked out on the other side. And the enemy's horde for the first night of the game has been defeated, although it did make its way really deep into our base. That is mostly my fault. Alright, a new dawn has happened, and with that I'm going to hire myself yet another gold miner and speed my way across the map over to this life fountain here and this altar of power, which will give me some lovely tactical amplifier bonuses. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of spiders running around the map here. Run, 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 run. Right, altar of power, thank you very much. Big bonuses from you, stack of money on the ground, and a sacred shrine. Lovely.
A few moments later.
And here it is. Oh my goodness, lovely. This is it. This is the legendary ingredient on the floor of the map that is going to allow us to break the game. Now, I have been pursuing this exploit for an absurd amount of time, and in doing so, in my practice of recreating it, I needed to make sure that every time I picked up this plant, I got the clone ability that I wanted. There are a bunch of legendary plant upgrades you could get that will make your potions powerful, but the clone lets us break the game. The problem is rerolling is limited and RNG is high, meaning that in order to guarantee the result of this plant, we need to get a little bit cheesy. You see, if you save and quit to desktop and close down the entirety of the game makes a save state before we've selected the plant. Then all I need to do is reopen the game and reload it, and when you're on the main menu here, you want to click continue and load game. So we want to select our save state here and ask to continue in game. By doing this, we'll be loaded into the game with the legendary plant next to us before the RNG dice roll has been made that determines what the plant should be. So now that we're in the game, we run over here to our lovely plant and pick it up. You'll notice we have two incredible upgrades here. They're huge upgrades, but not what we're looking for. So instead, what you're going to do is press the Windows key and just close window on the game. Because we've done that, the game hasn't been able to autosave a new save point. So when we press play, go through the main menu selection, and continue our game again, and you'll notice that bam, we've got a different option here. However, once again, we're not going to pick it up. Instead, we close the window again and we re-roll. So in we go. Let's check this plant, and it's not an upgrade that I want, so we re-roll again. I'll be back as soon as I have what I'm looking for. And there it is. After a couple of reloads and only one reroll, we have Doppelganger Bulbs. This is a bonus for our lovely Harmony Potion that creates a living copy of the Cyclone that lasts for 10 seconds. We are, of course, going to grab this bonus. Splendid stuff. So I'll test out my ability here by first summoning my clone to help me out battling these spiders, which will allow me to gain control of this shard, but you'll notice my poor clone, after just 10 seconds, died. They last for a nice period of time, but yes, death is death. Oh dear, and the night is now here. It is the end of day 2. We've got ourselves another big attack. Okay, here comes the big horde. There is a lot of them, and I'm going to do my best by chugging my potion, making myself a clone, popping down a lovely last stand bonus, and we are going to destroy these enemies to the best of our ability. However, something interesting just happened there. You might notice that at the end of the 10 seconds where my clone is meant to live, they didn't die. They are still well and truly alive, even though they shouldn't be. And in fact, my lovely guy is going to continue standing there fighting to the best of his ability until he just dies because he took too much damage. This raises a question. The clone is only meant to last for 10 seconds, so how on earth was he still alive there? The reasoning is not only simple, it's actually very funny. So you'll notice that in this combat here, we're fighting, and then after the combat is complete, my doppelganger, who is 2,800 health, is just killed by something that does nearly 6,000 damage. This is because the developers decided to balance the game in a very interesting way. Instead of just having the doppelganger removed from the game at the end of 10 seconds, the game instead decides to do an attack, which is twice the value of our doppelganger's HP. This would usually instantly kill the doppelganger. That is unless, like me, you've realized that there is a way to break the game. Our guard here reduces the damage taken by enemies by 40% from the ability, 5% from the obsidian shield, that scales with our fate amplifier. Then we have the last stand, which mitigates the damage by 50%. However, with the additional bonus of stand your ground, which we received from leveling up, the damage reduction is increased by a further 25%, meaning that any unit inside of our radius is able to resist 115% of all the damage they take. This is obviously very broken. Now you'll notice that with my abilities active, even this high-level glutton orc creature here does very minimal amounts of damage to my friendly units, allowing us to easily gain control of this gold mine and boost up our economy further. Now I can use this clone version of myself to do nice amounts of damage and destroy the enemies here, but unless we are able to get him standing on our last stand ability, he will die after the 10 seconds are up. Anyway, a new day has dawned. We are on day 3. The enemy's units now have 170% more health, there are more of them, and they do more damage. As soon as we hit tonight, we're going to have to fight 144 skeletons, which is quite a lot indeed, but hey, that's part of the fun. And we need to choose a quest for today. Restore a gold mine in the Wildlands and get 5 fate amplifier. Yes, that seems exactly like something we should do. But first, I want control of this treasure chest here. So I'm going to summon in a clone version of myself, give ourselves some huge bonuses and damage mitigation, so that way as soon as the 10 seconds are up, he survives the attack the game is going to give him that only did 1,300 damage. Not enough. That's a lot less than the 3,000 necessary to kill my clone. So there we go. We have ourselves a permanent clone who's now able to follow me around. Oh, looks like we got ourselves another big fight, so I've spawned in another clone to help us out, and then this clone will also be able to survive these 10 seconds. Fantastic. And so now I have 2 cloned copies of myself. With this advantage, we're now going to remove their occupation of this gold mine, giving us some fate amplifier and mitigating even more damage. Yes, unfortunately one of my clones did die there. It is slightly inevitable. And there we go, we've restored a gold mine, we can get more money flowing, and now our economy will be looking fantastic. Oh, there's another legendary plant. Oh, this is fantastic. Right, let's do another reroll. I want to make sure I get what I'm looking for. Right, welcome back. I've rerolled a few times and I've found this, the Ironbark Spine level 5. Basically, it means that whenever we chug our health potion here, we will now reflect 100% of damage taken back to its source. Now you might say, surely that's the cap. There's no way it would combine with the existing 10% damage taken of this potion, and you would be wrong. Yes, we now reflect 110% of the damage we take. That is fantastic. I love it. Video games are the best. I'm now going to summon in a few more extra units. I'm going to press E to summon in a clone, and then I'm going to press 5 to summon in a clone again using this lovely bonus, and then we'll pop down the last stand, and then I will defend. We now have 2 extra doppelgangers that have been summoned in, and there we go. We can see that they've both taken their hit and gone down to 2,000 life. Fantastic stuff. With these extra units, I'm now going to make my way over to this boss here. All of my lovely units combining, and whenever they take a hit, well, they reflect that damage back at the enemy that attacked them. Very nice indeed. And in we go once more. This time we are once again going to summon in our clone, deploy our last stand bonuses, and we'll lower the cooldown of our abilities here. Fantastic stuff. And would you look at that, we have ourselves yet another doppelganger added to the party. Okay, this is going to be a big fight though. So let's go. We activate our potions. I'm going to throw out my shield. We do huge amounts of damage to the boss. Fantastic stuff. More upgrades grabbed. We've now got a huge amount of money in the bank, and with this we're going to pick up the Temple of Fate. This now summons monks into the world. We can then use these monks to actually heal ourselves. All right, let's get on our horse and go really quickly, as our final protection gate is well and truly under attack. So come on, let's get a wiggle on. Look at all of my poor gold miners marching off. Yeah, it's not going to go well for them. Anyway, let's summon in all of our chaps, pop down our defensive shields, and there we go. Our clone boy manages to survive his attack, and in come the healing monks. And there we go. Fantastic. We survived. We have ourselves our 4 lovely troops here. They are bleeding slightly, but we did all live, which is perfect. All right, now what I'm going to do is move all of my forces to stand in front of these monks, and then we're just going to follow them to the front lines, because hopefully they're going to buff up my units. There we go. Get some health on our lovely guys. All right, now that I have all of my things back again, we're going to do a classic QE followed by another 5, and then I place down my 3, and I've summoned in 2 more clones. These clones here will take their attack very soon. There we go. And they'll both survive it. Right, and with our nice horde of clones, we're going to attack all of these troops here with glorious success. And with that, we have ourselves a brand new shard. So the Unravel is sending out yet another massive horde. However, there is something we can do to get extra troops on our side, and that is to clear out these creature lairs. If we manage to do that, then the spiders of the forest will actually start to fight for us, and they'll stop raiding my lovely gold miners. So here we go. Big attacks. I deploy my lovely circle. I'll even summon in my extra troops, and because of this, there's a copious amount of clone versions of myself wailing away on this boss. Anyway, speaking of which, we're going to chug our potions and do our best to clear up some of these catapults at the back. And here's the wave of friendly spiders now coming to help us fight. Good stuff. All right, let's chase down that horde. So here we go. It's time for another glorious last stand. Oh, and this is brilliant. We now also get a clergy reinforcement. So basically, when we summon in our little friends here, this chap is going to begin healing all of our friendly units as well. This is good stuff. All right, we're going to chug our potion, do a last stand, drop down my Healy circle, and bring in the monks to do all of the work. This is a huge army we're having to face. Luckily, all of my cloned versions of myself are doing a brilliant job. And there we go. We've done it. Yes, we did lose a few of our troops, but we're looking a lot stronger. And more importantly, our own personal monk is going to do a great job of healing up our friends. Oh, well, we are absurdly powerful when we just wander around and curb stomp someone. Now we're going to make our way over to this lair in order to clear out the evil enemy boss that sits within it. So let the fun begin. So I'm going to summon in an extra one of my troops, get my lovely monk in to heal everyone. I have noticed that one of the clones has gone down, but so is the enemy boss. Nice, there we go. Wow, there is a crazy poison that was applied to us. Still, with that boss defeated, we now have those orcs added into our roster, and they'll run off doing huge amounts of damage. On top of that, we can also now boost our damage by 27, which is a huge improvement, and then we're going to increase the damage our clones do against bosses. I'm going to summon in one more clone, and there we go, they have survived. So with that, we will now finish off this enemy here. Oh wow, we did that very quickly. Yeah, I think our boosts are really starting to take an effect now. Jeez. We're going to have ourselves a few huge fights here against these elites with 13,000 health. They do 560 damage a swing, which is absolutely massive. However, of course, with all of our cheesy things stacking on top of each other, we can boost our stats up very, very high, summon in 2 brand new clones who are, of course, going to survive. We can wander on over now and defeat this huge boss. Oh my goodness, it is huge amounts of damage, but incredibly we survived that. And I can boost up our auto attack range there, and good stuff. We are looking better than ever because, yep, it is big, and because the enemy boss is so powerful, he's just able to turn off some of my defensive structures, which is, you know, very nice of him. Anyway, huge bonuses for me now. Let's cast insane amounts of damage down. Meanwhile, my clones in the backline will just do a huge amount of the work. And with all this extra firepower, we can finish them off very quickly. Okay, how big is this army now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 copies of myself. That's what I have going on. Let's go deal with this boss. Right, so I think with this, we should actually have not too much of a problem at all if we just pop our potions and then all of my copies of myself chase the boss down and it's gone. It's gone in seconds. Oh my goodness. This is insane. Okay, right, well, that's that boss defeated quite comfortably. Oh, wow. We get some huge upgrades here, like 70% extra maximum HP. So that's an extra 2,000 health added to me and all of my clones. Well, not the existing clones, only the new ones we create. Even so, this is wild. Right, careful, the 7th sun comes and will never rise again. Okay, so we have ourselves the big mega final fight where we will be locked into perpetual darkness and the game is meant to end. Of course, for us, perpetual darkness isn't actually that bad. It's actually kind of no problem at all. Barely an inconvenience, some would say. The hordes of the Unraveler will now no longer relent, allegedly, which, you know, that's going to be a major problem for us because that's a huge amount of damage, logically, we'd be taking. However, you know, I'm just going to summon in a few extra clones here, and then we're just going to hang out with all of our new clone friends as here come the hordes of the Unraveler. That's right, they're all here. They're all very powerful, and in go the clones to do, you know, what they do best. Big amounts of damage. It's the Eternal Night, but the Eternal Night doesn't seem quite so bad now, does it? Not when you have an eternal quantity of yourself to back you up in a fight. All right, we're just going to throw ourselves right into the middle of the fray. I think we did lose 2 of our clones, and a couple of our other clones are just kind of hanging around. But generally speaking, we're doing very, very well. So with all of this extra money lying around, we don't actually have anything to do with it because we just have infinite money. So with our infinite money, I'm going to buy another wave of trappers. We're going to buy the Knights Barracks, and we're going to make our knights very, very powerful indeed. There we go. We now produce 16 knights with each wave, along with 26 soldiers, 9 warhounds, 14 archers, 2 monks, a catapult, a ballista, and then all of the other nonsense we've picked up along the way too. All right, we've got ourselves another huge fight with this massive worm here. This is going to be a big fight, but you know, luckily for us, we can be extra cheesy, stand on top of it, summon in another clone, and just destroy this worm. Lovely. Wow, we've reached level 15. That's worthy of an achievement. Increase fate armor by 13. That's quite ridiculous. Why not? Instead, let's make ourselves an enhanced knight with 2,500 health and a huge amount of damage. All right, so with this upgrade and the fact that I have myself yet more clones, I think we are ready to deal with the final boss. How fast do I move? I'm like zooming around the map like some kind of Super Saiyan. If I go on a horse, how fast do I go? Oh, we go quick. Right, let's just go straight into the boss. Let's go. Hello there, boss. Nice to see you, final boss of the game. Gang, you're just all gonna wail in on him and we're gonna see how it goes. It's going very well. Oh my gosh, this guy's meant to be the final boss of the game. He's the final boss. Look at him. Like, there's nothing he can do. There is genuinely nothing he can do. I can put down this thing that means we take even less damage. I can boost up myself even more, and there we go. He's dead. He had over 100,000 health, bless him. And he has been defeated well and truly. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the absolutely wonderful adventure today. If I remember correctly, I think Oblivion and Morrowind also have this as a potential exploit. So if you want to see that in a video, then let me know in the comment section. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the Spiffing Brit. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. If you have, then make sure to give it a like, and why not consider subscribing so that way you get to see what game I break next. A huge thank you to our glorious YouTube channel members and patrons for funding all of this nonsense, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye for now.